Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th edition. Join our various gaming groups as we play the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And maybe just hang out and chat about gaming in general. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
So, what does it look like when you are face to face with him, Silence? And an arrow goes flying out from the green, snaps through some leaves unseen, and takes him out. How gory is it?
He's just sitting there and it just comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
That's totally what I was thinking.
As his eyes do this.
Could I do a reaction thing?
You could
Can
totally
I just grab the arrow as he falls down to the ground?
as you hold on to the shaft and he slithers off of it.
Yeah.
As his knees
And
just
now
buckle and hit.
The fletching is stained red.
It's now a blood
It's
arrow.
a dirty arrow. It's the arrow that shall be called vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
One
Goes
bloody
to-
arrow has already tasted victory.
Goes to a fletching, it's an upgraded.
Bloody arrow. Called vengeance.
The arrow has been brain tanned.
So they're all dead.
They all seem to be dead, yes.
They seem to
See?
be dead. Right.
I
Or
mean,
are
this
they?
is a horrible place where the
You're
dead
right.
come
Are we out
back.
of initiative?
You're
Or-
technically out of initiative.
Okay, cool. I'll just make sure they're dead by bashing them in the skull.
Okay.
Even the guy that had the arrows coming out
Yeah.
of him?
Give him a couple just what ifs.
Okay.
Hey, you know Battle Hastings.
Now here's the best part. Bodies.
Nobody wants to have
Can I
to kill
come
a guy
over?
twice.
I want to come over with Silence because I also have a flail, and that just looks like fun. So
Guys, you two are making sure what's done dead's done stay dead.
I'm grabbing the document and
I'm grabbing
the only
the bow and the arrows and checking their pockets.
Checking the pockets.
And well, I guess that's up to the DM. I put troll language because
I'm cool with
my
that because you're
backstory, I was trained to do the smithing by
you're runesmith, yeah.
Yeah.
Troll's like, hey, come work with me, shorty. Finally, somebody that can pick up the parts I drop. So you guys do get the cash I heard people asking about.
Was it?
There was
You didn't
totally
say.
cash as you clear. Well, I haven't said yet. As you guys finish looting the bodies in classic post-combat. What's that?
Arrows are expensive.
They
But
are.
we just got a whole bunch though.
So you guys get a total of 10 gold.
Oh, before, was I able to retrieve my arrow from that one guy?
Roll me d20 to roll low.
Wait, we get 10 Valor?
usually you heal it free at our camp.
Each?
Total.
Oh, total.
So
Okay.
2 each.
Nine.
So you get your arrow back
Yay!
as you pluck it out of the corpse.
Yeah, do I get
So $10.
the bloody one?
Oh no, I give it back to you. Yeah.
That's a collector's item.
It is. I have it. It's
11
the
silver
bloody
and
arrow called
12
vengeance.
copper.
Hey, when it's like 300 years
11
later and you're like
silver and 12
retired
copper?
and like
Now that's
selling your
total.
book, you like
Right.
a story about
Okay,
and
well,
whatnot.
Are you all splitting it evenly?
we did with the Thaler already, but
Yeah.
we didn't
Or
let
do we
the
want to
silver.
have a banker?
What do you think, Ryan?
As the
I'll do it.
as the clever goblin saying, "We need a banker."
I can bank, and like everybody else, I will stay silent if they try to buy me to get the money. So you know.
Well, 11 shillings, so that's 2 each again with 1 left over.
Okay,
No, it was
so-
Valor.
No,
Well, the
10
10
11
valor,
shillings.
11 shillings,
Oh,
and then 12 the copper pieces.
So I'm gonna do it for banker or.
Sounds like everybody's just writing down their own share.
Well, 2 each, and then there's
Whatever's
2.
left over can
Nine or
Pretty
10.
much 2 each with an extra silver and 2 copper.
Yeah,
which can go towards like camping supplies.
So 9 or 10 and what?
2, 2, and 2. And then there's
2, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the extra towards like
there's
camping
a
supplies
shilling
or
and an
something like that.
orteg, which I can hold on to if you want.
Medical supplies.
Yeah, no, yeah, like just miscellaneous, like camping supplies.
But don't give me the
traveling
coins
supplies.
directly. It's the witch doctor. You must put them in the bowl. And I put the bowl in the bag.
So I'll mark them on mine.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Alright. Oh, and
And
then
it's
we
not
were
like
gonna
we don't want-
examine the runes.
The ruins.
The ruins.
So who's going to go ahead and take point on that?
What's the check going to be?
I will.
Yeah, it
Okay.
depends on what the check is.
So you're going to go with perception?
Yes.
I'm like stupid humans.
Understandable. And also because I have something.
Is it Arcana or?
You guys don't know this, but I do.
You could do an arcana.
Okay, well I'd like to do an Arcana because I have higher Arcana.
And you have really good perception, right?
I have +4.
Way better than mine.
I'm pretty sure I'm tied with the highest of the party.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah.
For what?
Perception.
Perception.
Oh,
Yeah. The highest perception in the party is 14, and I'm tied
Yeah,
with that.
+4.
So, yeah.
I'm 18 on a wisdom.
Yeah. So you're rolling Arcana.
So I'm
I'm
not
rolling Arcana.
Do you want the perception first or Arcana?
Yep, go ahead and give me the perception first.
Cool, got it. 13.
13, it looks like there may have been something here once upon a time. You see like what may have been ceiling tiles on the slope of a tree's roots. Like someone like magically grew a tree right in the middle of a house and exploded the tiles. And these statues seem to be connected to whatever was here, but the only thing you're seeing is the actual statues. One has been broken. With your roll, you do know the legs of the statue have been chopped out from underneath it. It looks like somebody was taking their time with a hammer and a pick or an axe and going at it like crazy.
Okay.
Someone's short.
Okay.
Someone that had a backache after doing it if they were your height.
Okay. After they're done making their project, I want to look at the statues again to see if I can remember anything.
Okay. And what'd you get?
Arcana got a 9, so probably like, yeah, they're mundane, nothing.
Yeah, it totally reminds you of like every other Symbaroum sorcerer, king and queen statues you've seen, where it's the dark king and the dark queen next to him. And the queen statue is the one that was knocked down.
What about history?
Give me a history with disadvantage. Because even the elves didn't carry this history. They redacted the history books.
17 and 3,
So you're just like stupid human shit.
Would I also make this?
What's that?
Would I also make this disadvantage?
No, that was just for the history.
Okay.
Because it's not your guys' history, it's actually forgotten lore that you elves made sure the lore disappeared.
Yeah.
You burned the books and redacted the history, and
We
you know,
burned everything like the Christians.
We did what the Chinese did. Every few years,
Yeah.
reinvent the history book.
Yeah.
And they already marked that when we came up on the party, that's what they were writing on.
That's what the, yeah,
Right, okay.
exactly.
So I was like, maybe they
So
wrote
now-
somebody else.
So now
something
which roll
else
is
about
wait
it.
history check one?
If you're rolling a history check, it is a disadvantage.
Yeah, I was asking to look at the statues again.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, I have to recognize something about that. Just something.
Could care less.
I recognize that they're human. There you go.
13.
Fancy.
13?
Yep.
So you believe from your...
Sorry, 14.
14. From
Bad
your
math.
elven history, this is related to Symbaroum. It's guaranteed. This is not the humans from the south. This is from the ones that were up north in the bad place.
Yeah.
And from the garb that you're wearing, I mean, they're wearing. You think that it's probably another one of the Dark King and Queens because they had like in the span of 20 years they had like 13 different royals because they murdered each other. They were that kind of empire. And the statue that's been destroyed is obviously of one of the queens.
Meet the
And
Robinsons.
you notice that both statues have had their eyes chiseled out. So there's like rough chiseled sockets, so maybe there was something in the eyes because it looks like dour warrior with a cloak. And part of the statue itself is the shadowy void. And then there's just like what would have been eyes, they chiseled out. So they stole something out of the socket.
Is the chiseling and does that look fresh? Like somebody just did it, or does it look like
It looks
it's
like
been
it's
that?
like it's a year or two old.
Okay.
It's not like old with moss growing in the cracks yet, but it is fairly recent, but not just like no fresh dust.
Well, when the goblins
Or there's a goblin, there's a way.
no, multiple goblins.
I think up to you.
Like I said.
Start stacking.
And I'm supposed to understand what you're saying, but what is it that you?
Well, no, you speak the sign.
Yeah, that's what I said.
no, but
You
that's
Right.
like
supposed, you both have the
Translation
special,
from the
special
hard
goblin
swords.
language.
Wants
Fishing?
to break the statue.
He wants to go fishing.
Smash the statue.
Oh.
I mean, it's
Silent smash.
It's like a 15-foot tall statue proportioned to a human shape.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine.
I
I'm
kind of
gonna be like,
Like-
go for it, and I'm gonna take a step back and.
I'm like, no, no, no. Too much noise. Too much noise. Let's go. Job on the
And I was
clock.
kind of bummed out too, because that.
Roll out.
Okay, Optimus.
It's funny you're talking about a clock
Optimus
who has
grind.
no sense of time.
Iron Sword, roll out.
So
Iron
talking
Sword,
about
that's
time to an
simple.
elf, and elf is like, well, we spent 10 years talking about a statue. That seems like perfectly good time spent.
I mean,
Get that kind
you
of time.
could not, if you're wanting to knock it over, you could knock it
Yeah,
over.
I was thinking of knocking over.
How are you going to knock over?
I was trying to ask for the club so that I could knock the king over with the legs because that's what they did to the queen statue.
So
I was
why don't
thinking-
you just announce to everyone we're in the neighborhood?
Hitting a metal
I'm gonna
statue's
hand
not
the club over, like.
knock yourself out, kid. Okay, so it takes a series of whacks with this wooden club against this ancient stone statue. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. If you can roll a 15, it works.
Is it a stone or is it wood?
It's a stone statue, but
With
the
a
club,
wooden
it's a
club.
great club he's got.
Right, a wooden club. See one failing. Yeah. Winning over the other.
Nat 20 for a total of 25.
Apparently, Silence starts whacking this club with the perfect leverage and the perfect cadence of hits that you're seeing the statue rock. It's not breaking per se, but you keep hitting it in a certain salvo at a certain angle that the statue falls right across the female one and cracks in a couple different places. And you guys hear this ominous rumble that cracks. And go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, that's what I
There's a reason whoever broke the first statue stopped breaking doing what they were doing.
I had a fear of that.
I have no sense of danger.
Oh no.
We're all good. It's a 6.
A 6. You make the old Italian kitchen witch gesture of
And I move around the corner.
Fine.
Taboo doesn't land on you if you're not present. That's the rules. Them's the rules. So everything is fine.
It's planned successful. Was there anything in the statue?
Nothing was in the statue. It was solid rock.
Okay.
Some kind of weird rock, like almost like a volcanic glass meets granite rock. So it had like speckles.
God, spirits, whatever you might have angered or disrupted. But hey, that's on you.
They don't belong here.
And as the statue's rumble and echo stops, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question, but we're going to roll just in case. So all of a sudden, you guys with your passive perception, which is good enough for somebody who rolled a fucking 1, as all of a sudden there's like this dead silence as like some birds go flying off, some bloodhawks go do their thing and disappear, and you hear the caw caw as animals are going for a small distance. All of a sudden when the rumbling stops and you all are looking at the statue and taking this moment of like, what just happened? Out of the grass to the edge of the clearing here rolls out a goblin that's basically wearing a loincloth with some bracers and shin guards that are studded, and he's covered in woad. And by the way, our barbarian friend knows that it's the magic woad. +1 strength or dex woad, the good shit.
Like shaman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's the woad
witch
that
gowns?
shamans. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I got.
it's the
silk.
woad you see is the magic item that people can put on that a shaman makes. And this goblin kind of flops out, and he grasps for his weapon that apparently was still back in the grasp, where he comes up, and this goblin brings himself up to his full height. And he looks at all of you, kind of embarrassed. You know, he looks at you and points his finger at all of you. And in Goblin, which it sounds like none of you but one of you speaks, he says, I am High Chief of the Northorns, and you are all trespassing. You will face my pet's wrath, or the power of the Northorns. And you guys, it's this cute little goblin going,
Obviously, he's upset, so this is the person we're supposed to be treating with.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, great chief, we are not trespassing. We have saved your village from the loathsome trespassing humans who meant to harm.
and all of a sudden
And
he puffs up, and as you're rolling your charisma roll,
And I get an automatic advantage.
he reaches into the grass, and you can see like someone that you can't see because they rolled.
Oh,
you know.
nat 20, baby!
You guys are
The other
all
one was an 18, so I'm good regardless.
keenly aware someone is hiding in the grass and handing him his sword. They rolled really good for stealth. He rolled a natural 1. And he takes his sword and does this shrink, and basically he's imitating the statue that was there. And he looks at your goblin friend and he seems to stop. You've heard of my greatness.
Indeed, I have.
You and your retainers seek to serve me.
We seek to join you, and you in turn join us in our attempts to rid this land of the pesky humans.
Ah, humans. You wish to join me, but to have me join you, you are very wise. You are very wise.
Well, I knew that I was speaking with a very wise chief.
And there's some, you hear some hums
The
from the
Iron
grass.
Sword has heard of your great wisdom and has sent us to entreat you.
What the hell are they?
Are you sending any hand signs to these
And I'm
guys?
like,
No, I'm just staring blankly with my eyes.
And you just see these two goblins are clicking. I mean, body language tells you they are clicking and vibing with each other. And he is like, so.
I swear they're not one.
I'm paying attention.
And you're telling me these are your servants?
They are under my command. I am a wild goblin. I do not like to see anything chained. They are with me of their own accord, and they serve only in that capacity. There is no serving.
As immediately he says, we will celebrate this joining of forces with the traditional grub of partnership. And he sticks his hand back, grasping, and you see this little goblin hand with a big grub. Hands, and then he snatches, it's like, faster, you fools! And he says, would you like the front or the back end?
I reserve the front end for such a noble chief.
And you see this goblin pull up a big grub, and he goes,
What the?
And he hands it to you and says, "You may choose which of your vassals will finish the last of it."
And then there's only so much grub left.
It's a small piece. She trots over and hands you a bug. Don't worry, it tastes like peanut butter.
Tastes like peanut butter, and it will secure our allegiance or alliance with the chief. At least for the
Constitution
moment.
roll.
No, it's actually like those
I know.
African grubs that do taste like peanut butter.
I think it will be like a wisdom save to see if we can get over the fact that eating something weird looking.
Yeah.
As he says, "Very well. All of you are welcome in the Northorn village. Just remember, you serve under my guidance. But we'll talk later." And he totally turns around and puts his little short sword over his shoulder, which to him looks like a nice bastard sword. It's all perspective. And as soon as he steps back, you realize there was about 10 more goblins surrounding you guys, and a spider that's about the size of a large dog. And the chief says, "Come here." Clack, clack. And he touches the spider's face, and then he climbs up on the spider's hairy butt in the thorax and sits down and says, "To the village!"
And I'm like,
And
to
I'll
the village!
Want to tell us what that was all about?
Yes. It's like, this is the chief of the Northorns. To the village!
Okay.
And then he turns around and looks at the corpses you guys left and whispers to one of the goblins, and 6 of the goblins take off and kind of circle back where you guys were from. "We eat tonight!"
I don't tell them that. It's like,
just gonna have
we're
like
gonna
a
have
nice
a
bowl of
feast.
It's not cannibalism if it's not your people.
We're gonna have a feast.
And they escort you through this little roundabout way where there's a couple rickety bridges that some of you medium-sized folk feel a little awkward walking on, but they're safe. It's just the path is single-spaced foot for you guys. For the goblins, it's a fine little walking path. For the rest of you, it's a 2x4. So they take you back, and you get the classic Disney style tree branches pulled back, and all of a sudden you see there's these tiny little mud huts with dead tree branches building them up, and a little goblin village of about 60 goblins. You think, if you were going to ballpark how many huts versus how many goblins you see, it's probably around 60 goblins that live there.
And that's where we were going anyway.
That's
Yes.
exactly where you're going.
Yes, we're trying to recruit the goblins.
And immediately as you guys come into the clearing, a bunch of goblins are looking at you. A bunch of motherly goblins or sisterly goblins are grabbing the smaller ones and shoving them in huts. And they're like, "But what?" Smash, smash. Puts a wicker basket on one. And as you guys come through, immediately you hear this, "Wah! Wah!" And all of a sudden, out from a little tree, a little rope comes flapping down. You see there's a tree house up in the tree, covered with briar thorns. And all of a sudden, this basket starts coming down. And there's this little old female goblin that's got this mask on. And she's got this stick that's got some gourds with leaves hanging off it, and it's riding. And she's like, "Boo-wah! Boo-wah!" And she's pointing it at a certain one in your group.
And I'm like,
"Move, goblin!"
no, I'm not going to move. Why do you booyah my friend?
"I am the shaman of these people. Why is this witch coming here?" And she basically says it again in barbarian for you.
Ooh, I understood that.
Yeah.
"Why is this witch coming amongst my children?"
We come in peace.
We come
Weren't we
on
already
behalf of the
doing
Iron
mission
Sword to
And who were we doing the wasps for?
Oh, that's just a general
Oh, that was
forest
just a general.
maintenance
Okay.
to try and discourage humans.
As she says, "Why are you here to curse my people?"
No.
I'm with the Iron Sword, and we're here to protect and build an alliance with you.
And she's giving you the anti-eye.
They saved your people. There were 3 vicious humans coming towards the village, and we stopped them.
As a goblin totally walks by in the background with a leg. Yeah, humans! So one of you two, since your goblin captain is coming to your defense, give me a charm or persuasion roll.
I will do it because I get automatic
say-
advantage with.
Well, even if you
You're-
didn't, you're better than me, so.
Okay,
I mean, I'm a
so
plus
I've
zero,
got a
but still.
16.
You got a 16. As
Now, hold
she's
it, this is a persuasion correction in 18.
18. As she looks at you, realizing how quickly you came to this witch's protection. You swear by your power that you will not hurt the children here.
Not nearly any of the forest children.
They look tasty.
You vouch for this. And she keenly gives you the eyeball. Like, is this a human? It's close enough to human for her. She rolled a 3. She's got cataracts. You vouch for this
Can't tell the human
human.
feature, the
I
elven features
do.
she's showing.
My comrade in arms is here only to help.
Well, as changelings get older, they start
Getting more
showing elven
elven
features.
or off human
Yeah.
features. As all of a sudden she's like, okay. And all of a sudden the chief comes out and grabs you on the shoulder like a friend. And you guys see this old witch doctor lady turns around and starts yelling at him, and he's yelling at her. Obviously, these two have a history. As he's like, this warrior killed humans. We feed blood
I
tonight.
did. I killed all the humans.
Are they saying that a barbarian or?
They're saying a goblin. So they're having this whole. You're seeing this very awkward 3 goblins arguing.
But my stalwart companions helped.
And all of a sudden, you see the chief. He makes this clack clack noise with his tongue, and the spider kind of walks closer. You see all the goblins go away from the spider because it is a dog-sized spider. And all of a sudden, the witch doctor looks at the spider and just like, whoa, shakes her stick that rattles at the spider, and the spider just comes up and starts nuzzling the chief, and he's just like. As basically she goes hobbling on her staff, and she's just like looking at you guys. And with that 3 she rolled, she sucks at her insight.
When I come back as a troll, you better behave. I will come back as a troll.
Don't you talk like that. Don't you tell the children that. And she gets back in her basket and she yells and shakes her stick up to her little hut in the side of the tree, which is like 20 feet up for you guys. And all of a sudden you see a pair of goblins start cranking this little crank up in her little tree house to pull her back up. And the chief says,
It's good.
we have been victorious. We have new friends. We have eaten the grub
And I'm like,
of the diplomacy.
I'm translating.
These strange folks are friends, and they will do many things to help the Northord.
In return, the Iron Sworn.
Every turn, we're just going to
Iron Sworn, okay.
See?
You tell them about the walls so they don't wander into them and that they're there to protect them.
Well, we did plant a couple wasps to help keep humies out.
Wasps! And of course, the goblins are like,
Bye.
wasps!
I don't think it's worth it. I think we can
As they basically, you see their village has got a slight infrastructure. They've got what you could almost call a smithy. It's not really a smithy. It's literally 2 guys with plungers making fire hot, so they can hammer metal into basic knife shape. You're just like,
can I walk over there and kind of check out
We
what they're
can
doing?
help. We can help.
and the chief basically says, gather the council. And you see a bunch of old goblins, show up, and they're going to get the big lodge, and basically they open this little hut's wall and put another privacy screen up. As they invite you guys to come under the privacy screen that has no roof. Because these things are like wicker sticks and mud with opening goblin size. As you they have a conversation that, are you going to translate for your
I'm going
friends?
to translate, yes.
That these friends are from the Iron Sworn. They don't like the humans. As the stew is brought for each of you to have some nice dark brothy meat stew.
Ask for your help in defeating the humans.
Your choice is either dried bugs or the meat stew.
I suggest the stew. It's good.
I am going to take my stew and go behind a tree where nobody can see me and eat it.
Oh, give me a stealth roll. The nobody can see me part is the stealth.
And I like to tell them silence is shy.
What did you roll?
Very, very high for it.
As you
Silent one is shy.
and they're like, oh, okay. And you guys totally see from the distance Silence is butt
IBS.
sticking out. And there's like a cluster of young goblins watching in fascination what Silence is and does. They're like, why doesn't this one talk? And to you, unfortunately, it's all jibber jabber, jibber jibber, jibber jibber, jibber jibber jabber.
But do any of them speak?
None of them speak the outlaw goblin language.
All right.
You're more civilized than them. These are your country folk.
Country bumpkins.
And the council gathers, and they all share with you the special, pipe, the special broth. You see this old lady come and make the spit drink, fermented spit something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They smash the termites
Delicacy.
with water, and one guy brings this flask that's hanging up, and opens the flask, and they pour the last of this pristine, beautiful-looking water into a clay pot, and they all pass it around to you guys. As the council's talking about this is good that we have new friends because they've heard rumors that humans are coming closer from the non-woods part of town. They don't really call it Davokar, it's the woods. It's where they've always lived. And then one kind of shady-looking goblin says, but can they be trusted? And the chief is like, I said they can be trusted. Do you want to talk to Clack Clack? And you just look up and you notice in this hut in the ceiling is this little beaver spider's nest. It's just legs twitching and and they're just like, go. And he says, but you have a good point. We think we should give you guys a test. The test that every warrior must take to prove that he is a goblin. Or she is a goblin. It's the asexual name for goblin. Because we can't afford to be sexist bastards. Will you take the trials?
Of course we will take the trials.
I like how it's volunteering all of us without
And
I mean, I'll be down for it. It's just,
and then this old goblin's like,
stirring my soup.
I think the trials should be given by size. They are big. They could do many trials compared to a goblin. And he's like, yes, this is wise. This is why I have a wise council. See how wise they are.
Well, I do not discriminate against size. I have friends of all. As one can see, we will still take your challenge. Have no fear.
And you see them getting into this heated conversation. It's adorable watching for the rest of you guys. As he says,
And they're gonna make us do a trial. A big one, because you're all tall.
Silence quickly finishes her
Sounds
meal,
a little racist.
puts on her mask, and then just runs over. Is like,
Yeah, no, I said yes.
as
I told them we're not
ready?
afraid of anything.
he starts to take a bowl and
see,
puts
you
some
nod.
old gnarly
See?
bones.
See? We accept.
And he takes the bowl and drops the dice and goes, ah. And you hear this in unison, oh. And he looks at this the way he's looking, he totally thinks you know what this means. You have no idea what this means. As he says, you will have to take part of 3 trials.
3 trials.
I'd like 3 trials.
The first
And I'm
one.
speaking slow so the goblin.
Which is one
3
goblin,
trials so the goblins don't
The
know.
first trial is of the blood stag.
Blood stag.
What the hell's that?
Like I know?
It is a beast that looks like a deer,
A beast that looks like a deer.
but it is horribly corrupt and has no skin and bleeds a foul blood that kills the ground.
Ew.
We have sent many warriors after the beast, but only I and Clack have come back from encountering it. And it fled from my spider friends.
It's afraid of spiders.
Let's bring the spider with us.
The next
What is it?
is you must spend one night under the stars in the clearing to the northwest. And as soon as and as soon as he's saying that, you guys, Silence sits down and is like, yeah, guys? And then all of a sudden, Silence almost jumps because all of a sudden, clackety clack of the cane comes out. As the witch, the shaman, she comes clacking in and she said, you have no power to give them the challenge. It is the shaman's job to give the challenge.
Okay, I'm like, she doesn't like that they're giving us the challenge. She wants to give us the challenge. Bring it!
And she says, and she shakes her staff at all the old goblins and they're just like,
we are not afraid.
As she says, night under the stars, you are in love with this one. And then totally looks at our, witch friend and says in barbarian, our chieftain is sweet upon your leader.
Leader? What?
I'm like, no, she's jealous.
And then she yells at one of the old one and bonks him on the head with the staff and takes the water skin that he had that it was hanging up, that they gave everybody this delicious water, and says, who drank the holy water?
We all did.
Then you all must replace the holy water. And she throws the wineskin at your
Where's
feet.
the latrine?
I was gonna say.
I also immediately thought about that too. Yeah.
And as soon as you say that, the chieftain's like, oh, I don't know these people. No, I don't know these people. And she takes her staff and smashes it at the edge of the big fire in the middle of the room, throwing sparks everywhere. She drags the soot on the floor and she starts to draw a basic map that you can, it's a map. And she says, you must go to the sacred waters and refill the sacred water flask.
Is that part of our challenge?
Is that one
That is your second challenge.
No camping. We gotta go fetch some water.
You may drink from its healing stream, but only one drink each of you.
Does this one count that we just drank from?
The healing waters only work at the spring.
Okay, apparently it's healing waters and it's one sip per customer.
And she's looking at you all skeptical.
Oh no, I'm saying, hold it. I'm saying it in Elvish, yes, because everyone speaks Elvish. Right?
Well, like in the video game,
I
I
don't speak
speak
Elvish,
barbarian
but
and
you can
Elvish.
sign.
Okay, so I'm saying it in Elvish because they all speak.
And then in Elvish, she looks at you and says, you think you are funny.
I know I am funny.
And it's horrifying looking at this old witch lady with her cataracts. Because that 3
Life
tells me
is
she's
too
got
short
cataracts.
not to be funny.
And then she says, for your third challenge.
Are you saying it in Elvish still?
She says it in Elvish this time, and everybody's like, huh? Huh? And she says, we shall see. And she picks up the bowl that the chieftain flipped his little bones in, and she dumps this handful of vertebrae from something, and she shakes the bowl. And shakes the bowl and says the words, and everybody's like, oh, and it's a great show.
like if we didn't get the collector's edition, we wouldn't
Of course, I roll off.
Yeah.
we would have like.
You know it's all bullshit. It is all bullshit. And
I think we all know that it's bullshit from that roll.
you guys are like, these are a bunch of superstitious bumpkins in the woods, and the chief and the witch doctor have this shit down pat.
Outside idiots.
And she slams the bowl down.
I want to just take the stick out of her hand that she keeps shaking at people's faces. Like,
Give me a. You want to go with strength or dexterity? You can just give me a dex save or a strength save. Go with either or. You snatch the stick from me.
Oh yeah, I'll do dexterity.
Wow.
21.
I think they would.
As she slams the bowl down and then realizes, there's my stick. And she looks at you holding the stick and sticks her little hand out.
Well, I'm kind of looking at it and kind of like shaking it around.
It would be funny if you
Rattle,
gave it
rattle,
to the witch.
Acorn, you are about to create an international. We want them as friends.
But I want the stick.
We'll find a stick for you.
But it's like this one.
As you hold it, by the way, and you realize it's like one of those rain sticks that when you flip it, you hear the tinkle, tinkle, tinkle
like
through all the termite holes inside the stick.
But a stick like this?
We have a job.
I'm just gonna
assign to you.
And you hand her back the stick, and she goes, "Oh!" And she smashes the clay jar so the vertebrae all tumble out, and she goes, "Oh, wonga wonga, boota wonga wonga," and that's all you guys are hearing. She's like, "What?" And everybody's like, "Oh!"
It's not even goblins, just gibberish.
Oh, it's goblin for a title of something.
Oh, okay.
Usually it means something like very big and the direction of the west.
Okay.
And she goes and looks at you and says, "They must slay the giant of the west before it comes for more food this spree."
The giant of the west.
And you say giant of the west, and everybody's like, "Ooh, say that name, let's go hear it."
Giant of the west?
And then you guys just, "Wonga wonga."
I'm like, something called the giant of the west. I want to stick to it. I don't know. Apparently it's been raiding their village though. Yearly.
And it's the chieftain like pats you on the shoulder and tries to pull you back from the shaman as she is like, "I have spoken in barbarian." Then she goes, "I have spoken in goblin, and of bones have spoken." And she like sweeps them into the fires until the bones just crackling on the embers. And she storms out.
Before she leaves in Elven, so do you typically give your guests greater tasks than your own people can ever think of accomplishing?
Give me an intimidation roll.
Oh, snap, yeah.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
You better drink some of this before I drink it.
20.
Oh, that's 20.
As immediately her eyes go, and she looks at you, and for a second you swear the cataracts went clear. So she looked at you.
And you were mad at me for taking a stick.
And she just knows you saw through her shit, and you just called her out. And then barbarian, and she looks at one other goblin in this gathering and says, "Utuki!" And she points a finger at this old goblin, just like pats his friend on the lap, pats his other friend on the lap, and gets up and says, "I'm coming, wife." And he staggers off, beaten behind her, as she just looks
Don't
at
even
you.
speak goblin and know what's going on.
And as she looks at you, she just mumbles some words and backs him with a staff to get out of the hut.
Reveal 3 and look.
And she totally says in Goblin, not a word when we get home.
Wow.
Really? It's like, you're lucky she's almost 30.
We would never do that in our culture. But that's okay.
As you're totally thinking back home, your mentor would have totally kicked somebody's ass for that shit. They would have waken up to spiders in their sleeping sack.
Right? Well,
Just waiting for his wife to go off and do her.
His luck, she'll turn into a troll, and he'll be the first you get.
You know, maybe we can change the little better. Maybe give it to the shaman.
Okay, so, all right, so we have to get the water.
And the chieftain day
We have to get that blood stag. and we have to get
I really want the West though. I feel like it's
the giant of the West.
Do you want to buy anything?
As when you say that, the chieftain totally starts telling you a story about, yeah, he's an ogre. He was nice to us at one point. We fed him, and then he kept coming back for food and stopped doing nice things.
So it's an ogre
Shit they
turned
can't
bad.
take care of.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The stag, it looks like a very large deer of the forest, but it's obviously corrupted and evil. It eats meat. Have some more stew.
Have some more stew.
More stew! As some younger
Ironically
ones,
enough, the guy's name was Stu.
as some more teenage goblins come and serve you guys more water and stew and some alcoholic goblin
Teenage goblins,
beverage.
a midlife crisis. Middle aged.
No, so that means they're about 6 or 7.
And he tells you the fetching the water should be easy. It's a sacred
You're
spring.
not adult until you're 10.
At least 10 generations of goblins have spoken of its healing waters that helps remove corruption and heals the flesh.
So
But
7
only
years.
if you're actually there.
Yes,
But
yes.
Why is it only 1 per customer?
Because they don't want anyone to drink up all the waters.
You know, fair point.
We have big.
Is that
mouths
1 per
compared to
visit
them, right?
or 1 lifetime?
Oh, one
That's
glass
1 per visit.
takes like
Okay.
a 1 gallon.
We're gonna have to write this down if it actually works. You gotta put this one
Add it on the
down.
map, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only having 1 drink.
Holy spring.
It's like, yeah, I only have 1 glass
All right,
of
What
wine.
should we do
So
first?
I say we go after the corruption first. Which is the corruption closer?
This is like
The,
5
the, the blood stag? Oh, it's definitely the closest.
Okay,
It's straight to the south of
stag
us.
is closest.
There's a large clearing where the stag rests under the sunlight.
And what are we fighting the stag
It's not
or?
corrupted, it's just
No, we're
sunburned.
destroying it.
Oh, we're just okay.
Yeah, it's corrupted. It's gotta go.
It bleeds
It's
corrupt
a stag with
blood
mange and sunburn.
that rots all of the vegetation that it touches. And it leaves a sweet odor in the air when you know that you're near. It smells like rotten tomatoes.
And there's like tons of situations. where-
Okay.
What's a tomato?
Like, for instance, like, you know, hyper beam?
As they pull up this little twig of cherry tomatoes.
That's
That was a
a,
doornail.
so you could get
Okay.
or snakes.
It's
So,
goblin size.
You get
Is it,
you have to draw. You don't have
how many days away is it?
Oh, you could get there easily 2
There's like a
days.
million ways that
2
are
days.
If you want to stop and camp overnight. I would recommend you camp overnight in a safe
No, you
place.
just lose all the
Okay.
orbs.
What proof do you require that it is
Fell out of the tree.
Ooh, and as soon as you say that, everybody in the circle, all the goblins go, oh.
Well, because I mean, you know,
Bring his
say,
head.
you know,
Wise, wise. And the chieftain looks at all of them in turn, and they're just
So I'm
like,
a very wise cat. I'm a very wise leader.
We can either
as he hollers for one to refill the pipe with some more weed. And it's, by the way, it grows naturally in the ground, weed. They saw someone do this once in a pipe, so they've been imitating this for at least 3 generations.
God, they're
They saw one.
burning thistles.
It's shaman approved. As you
That
know,
explains a lot.
Right.
as he says, if you bring us either the antlers, they are black as midnight and shine like obsidian stone, or the head with the antlers. That would be more than sufficient proof.
I say only the antlers because there's less corruption and less nasty.
But know that many a goblin has been gored on those horns.
Yeah,
So
well,
we could go for the second shot.
They are deadly, and
that's why we're being sent to. Yeah.
there could be corruption
So
just
the
by getting
goblins are
close to
basically
the beast.
agoraphobic. Yes, I'm sorry. You
Shit, they can't
don't
do.
expect
Got a
punishment.
dad joke coming there.
I love puns.
It's a captain joke.
It's a captain joke.
She's the captain now.
It's an officer joke, yeah. Good idea, Fairy.
But first, we should get shit-faced. In Goblin, it's a much more poetic word of Tabuga nose. Tabuga nose! And all of them go, Tabuga nose! And you're just like, what? Did we have to lose the only other goblin that speaks barbarian?
It means cheers.
As basically
Booger nose.
everyone who's going to take every cup hand to give me a constitution save.
I'm planning on drinking no.
Oh, sh.
Okay.
Constitution is.
So you're refusing the alcoholic smelling drinks?
13.
Just need a 10 or better.
I don't drink in excess, but
Ooh,
before
yes.
10.
I got a 15.
before we start, who else? You two are the only ones injured, right?
Yeah.
So 5 points each.
Oh, okay.
Aw, a nice pat on the back.
Yeah.
And since it's the first time they witness it, what does your healing touch look like?
Probably not much. It's clearly lay of
Its
hands.
tentacles like go into the wound.
Back massage.
Everything.
Just touching the area and
Come up and do a quick shiatsu.
Yes, exactly. You knew exactly where I was going with that.
He's like, I can heal, but it's kind of gross.
Yeah, they censor it.
probably a like purple light.
Have you ever seen how a mama cat treats her kittens? Yeah. It heals, I promise.
And what is it we're doing?
Constitution.
So 12.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, con is, 12.
So everybody got 10 or better, so you guys don't get shit-faced on their booze. As you're seeing little goblins like passing out from this drink, and you're just like,
So,
Wait, they're giving it to the children?
well, to your eyes they look like children. And yes, there's no drinking age in the goblin village. It makes them sleep through the night. It stunts their growth. That explains things.
Also, I could probably also.
So,
makes their blood strong.
so you guys are provided an area where you can set out your sleeping equipment, because I think you all have explorers or dungeoneering packs with bedrolls. Nice place. They build up 3 little fires around you guys to keep you warm. They explain there is the poop hole. There is the blacksmith shop.
That poop ball is too small. How do
And it's just this field of like 20 little cat holes. And a big stack of leaves. And moss, because it's nice. Makes you feel like a bidet.
Better than a communal sponge. Romans were disgusting.
Yep, they would have the bathhouse with the clean side, the bad side.
I don't know. There was something to the gladiator sweat oil that they made.
Hey, the oil was good because it would kill bad things, you know. If you drown the bacteria, it can't live.
While we're
Okay.
getting ready for bed, are we gonna sleep in shifts? So.
We're in a village.
We're in Goblin Village.
Okay, but they're.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Nibble in our necks?
I'm sure there'll be a commotion. if
Actually, because we're both elves, we don't sleep as much, so we literally could do shifts of this.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to sleep.
one of you guys
Pass
give
right
me
up.
an insight check.
Don't look at me.
I got this. I can do it.
Wait.
Well,
Inside.
one person or everybody?
One
I have
person.
a
I'm plus 6.
4.
Oh,
You had, you're proficient?
Or like a
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's?
A witch.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's true.
see
Yeah.
now.
The baby
Plus
too.
3.
Yes. They read people.
Think of it.
17 plus 6.
So you have the idea that since the big chief and the shaman accepted you guys, you're okay. Even though every time you look up at the treehouse, you just see her head stick out, and she just
You know, like,
She can't even see us from up there.
doesn't matter. She knows which direction.
and she talks to one of her aides, and they point her head in the right direction.
She's facing this way, like.
doing
Some small child's like, "What did I do? Spiders are gonna come for my ears." They say that's what she does. But you get the feeling that the tribe is accepting you guys because you did the ceremony,
I'm
and
sleeping well.
you're gonna be doing the proving yourself a true goblin of functional use in society.
Yeah. True goblin, all goblins.
During the nighttime, since I'm an elf, I only have to sleep 4 hours. During my 4 hours, could I do some weaving with the clothes?
You totally can.
Yes. I would like to first try to get the ambient symbol off of them.
You're gonna take the embroidery out. Okay,
And
give me a. You're proficient in it, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, and I'm assuming you want to pick your best stat. Are you using dexterous fingers or strong-handing those stitches?
Strong-handing it. I'm forcing the string in.
You're ripping the stitching out as.
He's like, with his teeth.
Oh!
With her teeth.
Nat ones and we.
I know. I've had 3 just myself.
So everyone needs to sleep with your D20 under your pillow next session. We'll have the room. Oh, it's already reserved, so it'll be better feng shui. Okay, so
would be
that was a
total
natural one.
of 6. with a natural one.
So you're basically working on it, and you're like,
No, but you also have 2 damage to kind of kill him.
and then a goblin walks by and it's just like, what? And as soon as the goblin does it, you're just like, riff! And you look and there's a big run in the fabric going all the way.
Remember when you did
It's repairable, but you're gonna have to fix it if you want it to be not a two section cloak that flutters when you run.
Wait, that's cool. Actually.
It's now more of a scarf with fluttery sides.
No, that's fashion. That's style. Might not keep you warm, but again, drip of substance.
So what do you do with the embroidered logo? Toss it in the fire, okay. So we don't have to worry about 10 levels from now the Ambrians showing up and killing the goblins because it's there.
Yeah.
Good.
I gotta ask.
No, I understand. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you
Yes.
toss it
So
in
then-
the fire and whoosh.
Are we meeting another goblin in this village?
Are we?
Or no?
Okay. So apparently the group is
Now
even
she's
more
acting
powerful.
shy.
Now I can throw CR 5 things at you. You have the numbers. It can kill you each in one shot, but you have the numbers to gang up on.
So there's this one goblin that just kind of keeps
He's like-
really focused
This
on
goblin's
us.
at the periphery just watching you guys
Always watching.
fascinated.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating.
Trying to be real sneaky, but
And is there anything you guys set into motion before you guys call it a night?
You mean before we already passed out?
Yeah.
Maybe we should call them fashions.
Did they make their own
I think the next day I want to help them smith
Make a-
things better.
So what's
But
the legal, like?
We're gonna be heading out.
Before you're packed up, you go to their smithy and like, this is not a smithy. As you whip out your leather-rolled smith tools, and you're like, here are real tools, and they're like, ah. One picks up your clients, the claw.
and I'm like, here, hold this.
I
and
like
try
that you were
and hand
going there too. Real tools.
Maybe improve their bellows so it's hotter.
Yeah, something.
it. No, I hand over
Actual
my
furnace.
flail, and I'm like, okay, here, hold this. And the goblin,
Because literally, small creatures can't use large weapons.
Yeah,
Heavy
no,
weapons.
I
like-
want to crush them.
I'm holding. Daddy, I'm holding the flashlight. It
Legs kicking up. I got it.
has not floated away.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna kind of take out my stuff and just
It's weird, but I'm pretty sure that's
Start working on
sharpen
their
their
smithy.
stuff and, start making them some little...
As all of a sudden you will be this village's cobbler. They will bring all the things to be fixed.
Except for
I
the
love it.
or the-
As we get the screen swiped, and you guys wake up, and next to your big fire, because they got 3 little small fires on the outside of your camp, there's the big fire. There's this mound
So this guy's
of fresh fruit and insects.
I thought you were about to say termites. Now I'm like,
There's some termites in there because they got the nice fat thoraxes, and they're just piled with their legs broken so they can't scamper away for you guys to eat. The village is in awe. You see a bunch of young goblins who are just like,
Oh yeah.
and then from the treehouse you just get stared at.
I'll toss a termite.
I have people out. These guys didn't
Go get the shit out.
And that's a good place to wrap it there. It's 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
He's like, how green?
6 o'clock. You know where
You know, it was nice to be remembered as a generation that had to start that. I'm just saying. I was watching this one video. They're like, how generations have changed since the 80s. It's like,
Oh my god.
stranger danger was the biggest one apparently. And now we take Ubers
We're like,
and DoorDash.
That was a.
just be home by the street light.
When the streetlights go on, you better get your ass home.
How things have changed.
Does anybody want any more cookies?
I'll take some cookies.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be GM going nom 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 nom.
Help yourself, help yourself. Pass
Oh,
it
thank you.
around.
TM gets first.
20 on.
I know, right?
I'm like, okay, I got a +0. It can't be that bad.
I got 3 nat 1 tonight, but I did get that nat 20 on introducing myself to the team.
You got the nat 20 where you really read it.
Yeah.
You now have the chief. There is no doubt. Don't forget to mark down. You still have inspiration.
3 crosswords.
There's a spot on the.
And don't forget to mark on your character sheet. You got inspiration. So you know you have it from the get-go.
Well,
I'll do that.
in the game, you get hit with
That's so lazy.
3 days from now, I'll be like, did you mark inspiration when I think about it?
so I don't
It'll
Wait,
come
I
to
have
me in the middle of the
inspiration.
night or something.
channel counts.
See what you're looking at for
You collecting
Tuesday?
these or?
Same as like if I had like
Yeah,
a
what type
juggernaut
of
build where it's
Oh, I'm
For the-
doing a sniper.
that one counts.
Sniper?
Going with the
Yeah, I'm doing
assassin.
assassin.
I was gonna say, if you want, you can keep your trees with
Anybody-
your character sheet.
I'm trying to find out, trying to see if anybody's doing a melee or not.
I thought.
My
No, I
notes
guess
do
Gunter
not
is
have
not.
anyone as a melee.
Is Golda doing that?
She's yet to do that.
Yeah, I don't think Golda has decided.
Because if not, then I'll change. I'll change my weapon. But
Okay, so we got 4 here.
so
I am doing Mandalorian Foundling. Actual though Mandalorian.
yeah.
Mandalorian
the
family.
foundling.
Who is a Mandalorian?
Oh, you mean the extinct race or the?
No.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you for the cookies.
Thank you. And the Warriors are kind of like the Sith. They were actually a race at one time.
The cryoban rifle.
Ooh.
So it's
Oh man, I would love to play
Dr.
Mandalorian.
Freeze.
yeah, it's a free. I mean, I'm a gadget, so why not have an unusual weapon? But it's +5 pierce.
Jeez.
With but it's stun damage.
So he's gonna be going around. Freeze ray, freeze ray, freeze ray.
Next time, don't kill this guy.
And it gives I forget what it slows slows them, and also for melee it gives them like an advantage or something on their roll if they're being meleeed after I hit them.
You don't have a character sheet.
So yeah,
A
I'm
blank
like,
character sheet.
I've never seen
Yeah,
anybody
but
with
she
a
can-
pulse
I
rifle.
do have a blank character sheet. I'll shoot you PDF so the book's too big.
That's what we need. A pulse, you know.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to draw.
Because the next time we're meeting is what, the 5th?
The 5th, yep.
The 5th, January 5th. And we have a room that time.
Yay!
Again, we can do it at my place. More room. I just have to clean it.
I leave it to the group. There you go.
And we can actually order real food.
What's this real food you smell?
Yeah.
hey, they got an award one year for their food, or got recognized
I mean, like,
towards potentially
Yep,
winning.
that's I was gonna give you this
So the next
copy.
time I'm
somebody-
gonna- I
It's
do wanna
basically
try
the rules.
The dragon sticks?
Because it's
Yeah,
D&D,
the
but it's slightly
I'd like
different.
to try
just-
this.
Yeah.
They're just basically jewel tortillas. Taquitos.
Okay, so then you'll send me the book and I can.
But are they tasty taquitos?
They're not bad.
I'll shoot
Mostly
you the
crisp, a
PDF
little
so you can
soggy,
read it.
but
Yay.
Because it uses different classes than a regular D&D. But they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah,
do
they're
have
just
some cool abilities.
a little different, yeah.
Like for example, they made for a fight a
don't
So the hawthorns are technically wild?
Yep, they're wild
So
guys.
technically you would be a wild dog.
Yeah, no, I want one.
Scoundrel
Yeah, me
class.
too.
Which
And
would,
you get
yeah,
more
scoundrel.
languages.
We don't have a thief-like
You
character.
get more
Which
languages
is the
with wild dogs.
scoundrels.
Yeah. The closest we have is
Oh wow. This cloud is
the ranger.
I am a scoundrel.
Yeah,
I
our
do.
captain who's an outlaw.
But I mean, we don't have anybody with
Hey,
sleight
you
of
don't
hand.
Hey, you don't have to worry about stealing
Schwittomania,
anything. You can just
right?
kill them and take it.
Yes, true.
Because then it's looting. And
It's
that's perfectly
spoils
legal.
of war.
It's
Yeah.
like,
That's adventuring. It's not looting.
Surprisingly,
No,
not
it's
Or
a
is
lot
not
of
that
adventuring.
healing
yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's no like real healing.
Wait, we need
Yeah, I
to
was looking in the
I
actual
just love it. What do you
Symbaroum
call it when you
game
kill
too.
somebody and take all their
Witches
stuff?
only the healing the
Adventuring.
land hands is the only heal that witches have. It's
Yeah,
weird.
no, yeah.
He said our evil dad
oh, she
base.
left her
efficiency.
weapon.
But even in the game,
Yeah.
even in the
I
game,
put
there's
mine
not
in.
a lot of
So we'll have to get another
classes.
green one for her.
Actually, not gonna. I wrote a campaign about that.
Yeah,
Where
there's
like
no real
the
cleric
players
class
start
or
off as
anything
Yeah.
there, so there's no
next.
real heavy healing at all.
No. Oh.
And it takes forever to heal back too.
Yeah.
That's why we really need to mark down where this.
Well, I need a
is,
alchemy
uh,
kit.
I'm keeping those on because I want to use them.
And those are pricey.
They are. I mean,
Well,
I got-
if you would
I
have
got
talked to the
herbalism.
shaman, she's got one up in her treehouse.
I'm sure.
It's gonna
I
be
don't
a
think
problem
she's
now.
Yeah, now.
I don't think she's gonna offer.
I mean, I got my herbalism kit. I have first aid, but yeah, it's $10 for a healing potion. That's only 1d4.
I'm a little
Actually,
worried.
I am.
Yeah,
And
don't
you have
take
to-
damage. That's why the
We
fighters
are,
have a temporary hit
Abby
points
is
that they
a
can use as a
blacksmith.
reaction of taking damage
Yeah.
to
Do you have
activate.
do you have a skill as well, like crafting?
Carpentry.
Carpentry.
So we have
And
woodworking,
it's
we
actually not a
have
potion. It's
fabrication,
I
we
do
have
have some.
alchemy.
I do have
Well,
something that'll help.
I can avoid it.
I have something that'll help with healing. Hold on.
And
Except-
actually, with
except
the
metal.
healing,
Metal might be
it's a
avoided.
bandage, not a potion, and you have to have a shorter or one or two type of rest to use it again. So it's not even like you do.
Yeah, there's a long vest and there's a full
Sort of
vest.
like in the Iron Kingdoms for healing.
Yeah, you
Devios,
can't
yeah.
just keep healing people. It's
Yeah.
you only get one d4 with this
So
bandage.
captain.
I'm a captain.
So
Right, but then there's scoundrel.
Scoundrel is your rogue type character, but there's a whole bunch of different types of rogues.
yeah, there's a bunch of them, a bunch of types.
So like you'll get doing this to it and the poison.
So, but yeah, there's no like actual like
No.
like cleric in the
It's not
Carry
like
any more of my bag.
I like
I
it.
got it.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Like I
definitely
said,
not
I
like
mean-
regular 5th edition. Healing is a premium thing.
Okay,
need the,
Wilderness Explorer beginning at first level. You
Yeah,
are
that's like
adept at
one thing
preparing
that,
and
like, I always
securing
kind of
campsites,
not
blah,
liked
blah,
about
blah,
it.
blah, blah.
You're the guy that keeps everyone from starving.
Choose a number of creatures up to your proficiency bonus to each regain an additional hit die.
So you're
During
about
long
the
re-
you're
during-
about the
during
recovery.
rest. Yeah.
recovery. of
Just
it,
like
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Kelly's captain at second level, she gives you guys, you can spend a hit dice during a rest to get healed up.
Yeah, but I can only do that per so two.
Yeah.
And that includes myself. if need be.
Another thing is I do have battle wind, which lets me get 10 HP when I get hit, so that I can just take damage.
And that's
Yeah,
a
but
great
in combat,
reaction.
there's no this wave of wand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's afterward.
So, yeah, pretty rough.
And hey, I also am barbarian, so I have this last conditioning and healing.
And I love how they're like, use a CR2 creature against your party at first level.
Again, that's
As I said,
James, flip and see our
three second level characters run to 5 umber rolls.
But my healing is consistent at a
Yeah.
5.
Yeah,
There is no roll. It's 1 plus my modifier. Wisdom modifier.
and you get to divvy it, don't you? When you heal people out.
No, it's 1 plus the
Oh.
healing modifier or my wisdom modifier, and I can do that once per
Sweetie, look at
proficiency
that. My
point.
phone fell.
So it's not the paladin. I divvy it
Hope I
up.
don't have
It's
any more cracks.
Yeah, we're
5
3,
twice.
3, 3.
Yeah.
No, it's 5 twice. And when I get 3
I'll take
proficiencies.
one damage.
And then when we rest, then I can do. Yeah, I can give. Yeah.
That's why I wanted to heal before we went to bed, so I can heal again later.
Yeah.
Better do it
I
now.
can take damage.
Yeah, you took damage falling down, not during combat.
Yeah.
You take damage, and then the creature with corruption touches you, and then you turn into a tentacle.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
where-
that's the only thing. As soon as I get 1 corruption, I'm immediately going to be at my threshold.
Well,
and if I
that's
get
why-
2, I'm over.
That's why you gotta be on the lookout for the purple whatever flower, valley flower, whatever it was, so I can start trying to make,
Every time you guys take a short rest, your witch is drawing the picture of the flower saying purple.
because that's what I can make a.
Me who's colorblind picks up the white
corruption.
one.
That's
See
what
the
I can
purple,
use that
take the
to
purple.
anti-corruption or
Yeah.
corruption healing potion to remove temporary corruption.
But considering how expensive potions are, that's a good way for us to make money once we get it.
If you need to, you can buy them from the shaman.
Yeah, not me.
At now an exorbitantly upped price.
Or better yet, we can kidnap the shaman and take the sword.
That would cause an incident. but- Yeah, those bandages are 10,000.
What are they going to do? Kill us? They're just
For
going
1d4 healing.
Yeah.
The only one I'm worried about is the spider. Because that seems like it can actually
What
do
is his
damage.
name? Clack clack?
Clack
That
clack.
can only be done once.
Yeah, well that's because spiders are like the only like threat.
So,
No, that's what I said. If you can like, if you can.
Because Bobby
make
has
it-
like nasty extra stuff like
So,
venom and
that-
paralysis.
Holy shit stuff.
Clack clack
No, it
isn't
is.
full grown, is he?
No, he's not.
No,
What happens when he gets bigger?
they're probably like Shelob size.
Starts eating everybody.
I know, right?
Well,
not running
technically,
enough?
setting-wise, you guys know that any spider can totally go like Shelob. There actually was a, for the elves' history, They fought the bad humans with the good humans. Spiders helped, but then the king of the spiders got corrupted and totally went bad with all of his spiders going against him with the elves. So the elves kind of worked with the spiders, but the spiders eat elves, so there's that moment.
Spiders eat everything.
And the thing is, they turn into gigantic, huge-sized spiders that are telepathic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Great,
So,
this is what I need. A telepathic, 8-legged car that eats people.
And things get worse when they eat things that are corrupted because you're not eating the corruption.
Or blight, or...
you are with
Well,
you.
I'm glad I made sure that a resident goblin did not eat the termites.
Thank you.
And somewhere out there in the
That was a poorly
forest
timed one.
are some pissed off termites saying, I thought we almost had that goblin.
Nom, 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 nom.
I was just imagining them picking them by the neck and they're like, no, let me at them.
The goblin goes full, honey badger.
Badger.
Look, there's so many juicy.
Badger.
If not food, then why juicy?
Again, every
If not
generation
food, why
has a
free
face.
sex?
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Please follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/CPPN to never miss a show or stream.